last video we studied about pollination and the type of pollination. You know, the flowering plant cannot move from one place to another. So how they will distribute the pollen grains? Yes, they will do with the help of some agents. They take the help of some agents like the living organism and the natural agents. The pollen grains can be transferred from one place to another by wind, water, bats, birds and insects and other living organisms. So today we will study about the agents of pollination. The topic is agents of pollination. What are the agents of pollination? The agents of pollination are those which help the transfer of pollen grains from one flower to another flower. Basically from the male reproductive part, that is the anther, to the stigma of another flower of different plant. The agents are of two types, that are biotic and abiotic agents. Abiotic agents refers to non-living agents or the natural agents, non-living. And the biotic, as the name signifies, it is the living agents. What comes under the abiotic agents? Abiotic agents include wind and water. And biotic agents include insects, birds, bats, and also by artificial pollination that is done by man. So according to the biotic and abiotic agents, the flower adapt themselves. That is, they contain nectar, scent, or they contain petals that are more attractive, so as to attract the biotic agents. And for abiotic agents, they have different adaptation. So we'll learn more about the biotic agents, that is how the pollination happens by wind and water in detail. Pollination by wind. Pollination that happens by wind is called anemophily. The pollination that happens by wind are present in areas of strong wind, low humidity, and the areas that have low rainfall, so that the pollen grains are not washed away in the rains. Flowers are inconspicuous, means the flowers are not showy. They don't contain nectar inside them because they don't have to attract the pollinating agents. Large quantities of pollen grains are produced. Large quantities of pollen grains are produced because as they are blown away by the wind, so the pollen grains will be destroyed in the transit, and they have to reach the other flower of the same species. So the pollen grains are produced large in number. Filaments are long to expose anther lobes. The filaments are generally very long, so that the anther lobes are exposed to the wind and the pollen grains are carried easily by the wind current. Stigma is divided into two lobes and they appear feather-like structure. You can see in the picture the feather-like structure of the stigma, so that the larger area of the stigma is there to catch up the pollen grains. Pollen grains that are there in the wind pollinated flowers are generally smooth and small, smooth walled and small, so that they can easily be carried away by the wind. The examples of wind pollinated flowers are rice, paddy, barley, oats, etc. 3. Now the second abiotic factor is the pollination that happens by water. Pollination that happens by water is called hydrophily. Hydro means water. These are generally seen in aquatic plants, the plants that grow underwater. So the movement of water helps the dispersal of pollen grains. The movement of water brings the pollen grains from the anther to the stigma of the plant, of the flower. Male flower, here the male flower that are born on a small short stalk and are born in large number. They are in large number as compared to the female flower that are large. As you can see in the picture, the female flower are large and they are solitary and are born on large stalks. They have very large stalk or coiled stalks. Pollen grains here, you can see they are very small and smooth walled. Also they have a protective coating like the waterproof coating that helps the pollen grains not being destroyed when they float in water. Generally what happens, the male flower that bears the pollen grains disperse the pollen grains from the anther and they flow towards the female flower, where the female flower stigma catch hold of the pollen grains and like this fertilization, like this pollination happens. This type of pollination is seen in water plants like Vallisneria and Hydrilla. This is the example of Vallisneria. We will come to pollination by insect. These are the biotic factors. The pollination by insect is also entomophily. Entomophily means ento means insect. The pollination that happens by insect. The flowers here are inconspicuous, meaning that they are brightly colored. They contain nectar. They contain scent inside them, so that they attract the insect. Insect have a good sense of smell. How do they reward the insect? They reward the insect by providing nectar, which are contained at the base of the flower. The insect goes inside the flower in search of nectar, and the pollen grains from the anther are deposited on the body. When they go to another flower in search of nectar of the another plant, then they brush off the pollen grains onto the stigma of the flower. The stigma sticks the pollen grain and hence pollination occurs. The stamen here are enclosed. Enclosed means they are inside the flower. As you can see in the picture, the stamens are inside the flower and the filament are very strong so that it can hold the body of the insect. That is the weight of the insect. The stigma is very small and sticky. There is sticky surface on the top of the stigma, so that the pollen grains get sticks on the stigma. And the pollen grains that are produced are less in number and they are large. They have sticky or the spiny surfaces. This type of pollination can be seen in orchid and sage plant. You can see in the picture over here how the insect pollination occurs. Now coming to pollination that happens by bird, it is called ornithophily. The flowers that are pollinated by birds are generally orange or red in color and they are tubular, so that the birds like hummingbird put their beak inside the flower in search of nectar. They generally lack scent, as the bird don't have the sense of smell. They don't need the scent, so they only come for the nectaries, that are the sweet sugary substances beneath the flower. Pollen grains, in the process the pollen grains get deposited on the beak of the bird and sometimes the feather of the bird, and when they visit the other flower for the nectar, they brush off the pollen grains and hence the pollination occurs. This type of pollination can be seen in crimson bottle brush, as you can see in the picture over here. The bats which feed at night are also the important pollinators. So the pollination by bat is called characterophily. Charactero means bats. Flowers that generally bloom at night are pale white or dull white in color, so that the bats can easily see them. The flowers are generally big, so that the bat can put their head inside it and they can eat the pollen grains. Some of the pollen grains get stick on the mouth of the bat, and when they go to another flower in search of pollen grains, the pollen grains are deposited on the stigma of the flower. The flowers contain strong scent, that is generally the fermented fruit scent. Flowers are generally large, as I explained you. They are large flowers so that the bat can put their head inside it. The examples are Bahonia. You can see over here in the picture. Now we studied about artificial pollination. The pollination done by men is called artificial pollination. They are done by men. That is, the pollen grains from the anther are transferred to the stigma of another flower, and it is done by the human beings. These are called artificial pollination. In China, most of the pollination are done by man. So today we studied about the agents of pollination, that are the biotic and abiotic agents, and how they help in pollination. Thank you.